Hey there, my name is Jyotsna and my students like to call me Coach Joe. I'm an independent educational consultant and a college counselor. I studied from UC Berkeley counseling program, and my mission is to demystify the college process for immigrant parents. You know how complicated this whole college process is. There are way too many moving parts, and I've made it my mission to empower parents and students so that they can create a stellar profile no college can refuse. Okay, so let's start with this presentation where I'm going to go over how to win scholarships on a dependent visa. Okay, because that's an important criteria. There's a lot of misconception, misinformation, assumption, and preconceived notions by parents who are on a dependent visa. And I'm going to demystify that. I'm going to break it down into what the college process is and how a student on a dependent visa can do exceptionally well, because my students have done that. Over 40% of my students are on a dependent visa, right? And I've gotten them a lot of scholarships, acceptances, and everything, and it is possible. You just need to understand the process and work accordingly. Okay, so let's get started. So winning scholarships as a dependent visa student, a bit about me. I'm an immigrant, of course. I studied in India. I was frustrated with the lack of clarity in the college admission process. When my older son was going through with it, I'm like, why does this have to be so confusing and so convoluted to even find information? So I made it my mission to demystify or to educate parents and students as to how to go through this process. So I left my corporate job to do this, and I've been extremely successful in mentoring and getting my students lots and lots of scholarships and acceptances. Okay, so this is my qualification. I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I'm a positive psychology coach. I coach ADHD students, and executive functioning coach, which is the prefrontal cortex of the brain. I'm also a meditation instructor and did my college counseling from UC Berkeley. Okay, so my mission is to help parents and students to demystify or simplify the complicated college admission process. Yes, it is complicated. There are way too many moving parts, and that's why I've created a whole community. My Facebook group, which is called Pioneer Parents, you can join that and share any thoughts of yours or questions, and we have experts to answer them. Okay. Now, quickly over today's agenda, I'm going to show the cost of college, the college admission process, the scholarships that are available, our results, and our edge. Okay, so of course, hang in there till the end. You're going to get a free scholarship guide or a must-have guide to help you apply to scholarships. So our success, I just want to share that my students have gotten into Stanford, Johns Hopkins, UC Berkeley. I mean, I can't fit in all the logos in here, but I've had a tremendous success with my students. And and our counseling results, my students have won over 5 million in scholarships in total. My students typically get accepted to 90% of the colleges. They get multiple scholarship offers, and the number of colleges that they've gotten accepted into is like staggering. So let me go into the college admission process, right? Step by step as to how it works. Okay, so I just want to know what your thoughts are about the college admission process. You can just drop a note here or put your comments in there. I just want to understand. So I want to know what your thoughts are about the college admission process. Please put them on your comments below. I want to remind you that college is a business. It's like run as a corporation, and the person who can afford actually typically wins. And it's also based on supply and demand. And that is the harsh reality that you need to remember. Okay. And cost of attending college. This is the cost of attending, like for example, a not-for-profit, okay, a private college. In-state colleges and public colleges are way lesser, but I just want to share with you what is the cost of attending a private college. It is somewhere in the range of $55,000 to $60,000. And when you look at the cost of attendance, you need to consider room and board, books, transportation, their everything. The tuition fee may be about 36 or 40,000, but on an average, I would say $1,500 to $2,000 a month is their room and board. That is like the ballpark. And also you need to factor in inflation. And so an increase of fee is about like 3 to 4%. And you can receive a lot of scholarships and grants by bringing it down by half, actually. Okay. And I want to share with you, it's not been updated yet, but I want to share with you how much it is to go to an Ivy. They are like very, very expensive, nearly 90 to 95K a year, because this is just the tuition alone that I've mentioned here. So it's nearly 350K to send to Ivy without any scholarships. That is just before adding any scholarships or anything. That's the cost. Okay. And I just want to share how much the cost has gone over years. I mean, it's much more than that. This is not entirely recent, but you can see how much the cost of college has risen over years. Okay. And now coming back to how the college admission process works. Okay. Let me remind you that great grades and test scores are not enough. Okay. The admission officer is asking these questions, and they want these questions answered in a student's application. Okay, so they're asking the student, how are your grades? Are you academically capable of our rigor? For example, if it's like Duke or Georgia Tech, it's extremely rigorous, right? What are the unique qualities that you're bringing in? What impact have you done so far? Okay, and does your profile have potential? Okay, so these are some important questions that the college admissions are looking into a student's profile. Okay, and this is how the admission process works in a highly selective college like Duke, for example. There's a regional admissions officer. I live in Pennsylvania, so there's a regional admission officer in Pennsylvania. Delaware, there could be a regional admission officer. So basically, they are residents of that area, but they work for the college. Okay, like for example, Duke, they're working for Duke, but they are residents of, for example, Pennsylvania. They know the makeup of every school that is in that area. So their responsibility is to get the best candidates, right? So they collect the applications, and there's an admissions committee that will review the applications and they will vote. Okay, so you can imagine a boardroom with a long table, with a lot of people, with a lot of discussion and everything. So the regional admission officer has to pitch. Okay, it's like, wow, look at this candidate from Pennsylvania. He do great in Duke. We should accept. Or there'll be somebody from Alaska. Hey, we never hire anybody from Alaska. Let's take in a student from Alaska. Or for example, the sports coach will come and tell the regional admission officer, he may send an email or tell everybody that we want to build a swim team. So look for candidates can you give me some candidates that have good swim background that we can build on that. So that's how it works, and the committee votes. Okay, and they have results of the voting. One is acceptance. Wow, the student is going to do exceptional, so let's accept. Okay, then there's denial. They didn't cut it. Okay, so I'm not going to take it on. We're not going to accept the student. Or waitlist. let's see if we can do better. Don't want to reject, but I also want to see if I can get a better student. So I'm going to put it in the waitlist pile. We are going to check that again after we get students in the regular decision process. Okay, so this is the admission process of a college. Okay, and so I mentioned about what they're looking for in a candidate. Now I'm going to break it down into tangible steps that you can make out. Okay, so there are 12 factors in the college admission decision. This is from the National Association of College Admission Counseling. They are the governing board. They are all of us, all counselors are responsible for, their information and everything that is there. Okay, so these are the 12 factors that are prioritized, right? Grades, extremely important. Number 2 is test scores. It can be SAT or ACT. Strength of the curriculum. Strength of the curriculum is whether the student has taken AP or honors. Then there's essays, there's counselor recommendation, student's interest, teacher recommendation, class rank, extracurricular activities, test scores for AP or IB curriculum. There's also an interview. If you're going to highly selective colleges like Ivies, they have interviews. If you're applying to the BSMD program, they have a mini medical interview. And also they have your exam scores that are very exclusively to your state, which is like Keystone. I'm from Pennsylvania. So these are the 12 factors. And these are the factors based on grades, right? Like based on which grade you are. When I meant grades, it's like 9th or 10th or 11th. Grades of all years are important. Test score, it's just when you take it. The strength of the curriculum is very important for all grades. Essays are something that they submitted along with a college application, which is in grade 12. Extracurricular activity is very important for all grades. So these are the important factors in the college admission process. Okay. So I'm going to break it down one by one so that you get an idea. Now I'm going to talk about the grades and strength of the curriculum, right? So they expect students to challenge themselves. There are courses like APs, which are like college level courses that a high school student can take. There are honors courses. Every year counts, like starting with the freshman year, the grades, okay? And GPA trends, they want to see an improving trend in a student's profile. Class rank if it's offered in the school. Okay, and they are looking for these kind of progression where they don't expect students to like take on like challenging courses right in the 9th grade, but they want to see a progression with every year that is there. Okay, you start off with honors classes in the freshman year, and subsequently you take on more courses. And also a lot of high schools do not allow AP courses in the freshman year. Okay, and these are I just took a snapshot of what is offered in our school district. You need to look at what is offered in your school district, the honors courses and the advanced placement courses, and it needs to be reflected in your students' transcript. If there are that many AP courses that are allowed, then it needs to be seen in that transcript. Okay, and this is a samples transcript of a student who graduated with 20 APs. Pretty much the student shaved off 1 year and 1.5 years in college. So AP courses are an extremely good way of saving money for colleges, okay? Because you can transfer the credits from AP to a college course. Okay. The testing formula, there's often a misunderstanding that PSAT is a substitution for SAT or ACT. PSAT should not be named that because it's a National Merit Scholarship Qualification Test that qualifies you for the national merit. And there is SAT or ACT, which students have to take. Unfortunately, the national merit is only for citizens because it's again a federal kind of scholarship. I'm going to share much more in detail when I get to that. Okay, so the test scores that are needed by top colleges are, if you're applying to the top 25 or you want to be selected for scholarships, you need to have a score of over 1550 out of 1600 for SAT, and ACT is about 34 plus. Either one of the exams are pretty fine. I recommend my students to take both the tests and see where they score well. Okay. Then let's come to extracurricular activities, which is what literally distinguishes students from one to another. Okay, so for extracurricular activities, they're looking at impact, they're looking at the students' interest or passion and how unique that activity is. Okay, you have 10 spaces in the Common App to fill out your extracurricular activities. And a rule of thumb is look for an activity which another student would not do, or look for activities that top 1% of the students do. Okay, so that's a rule of thumb for extracurricular activity. Extracurricular activity is something that student does outside of the four walls of the classroom. It's not part of their curriculum. That's something that they do outside, like they go for volunteering, they do research, they do some kind of community service, they work in a food bank, soup kitchen. All those are extracurricular activities. Okay, that is community service. Then you have extracurricular activities that is specific to their major. If they are applying for a computer science major, then the colleges like to see some extracurricular activities related to coding, like a coding competition, participating in hackathons and everything. If a student is applying for pre-med or medical school, then they expect students to shadow a doctor, do research and all that. So you need to have extracurricular activities, one that's specific to your major and two that has community service in them. Okay, so this is very, very important. Then essays. Essays are something that students do in the senior year when they're applying to colleges, right? So it needs to be emotional, it needs to be standout, the topic has to be interesting, it has to be specific, and it has to be unique. Okay, so this is something that we closely guide our students when they're applying to colleges, because it's very, very important. The colleges would like to see the student's personality, right? So that's why they have these essays that are there. The other considerations for college admissions are leadership and community impact, okay, and recommendations from counselors and teachers are very, very important. Passion projects, any project that a student takes up outside of the curriculum which aligns with their interest is called a passion project. A research can be a passion project. Okay, a sustainability effort can be a passion project. Let me tell you something, that colleges are looking for tangible outcomes and results that can be measured, right? So that is how you have to pick activities that help you like showcase a student's prowess. Okay, publishing a paper, research paper, is also something that's very, very important if you're applying to STEM majors and everything. Internships also are available. It cannot be a paid internship if a student is on a dependent visa, but an unpaid internship is perfectly fine. Okay, and let's come to the most important component that you're all waiting for, the impact of the visa status on financial aid and scholarships. I'm going to like break it down so that you're much better informed about your situation. Okay, so H4 visa holders are eligible to apply to any college or universities in the States. Okay, so you are eligible to do that. And also you're not considered as an international student when you're applying, so you don't need visa to apply to colleges, but a lot of students like convert into F1 visa so that they can get OPT after to work. But when you're applying, you do not apply as an international student. There is an application tool called the Common App that every student uses to apply to colleges, at which point you will mention your visa status. That is the very first thing. And the Common App, everything like customizes based on your visa. Okay, you will not be able to see certain scholarships or certain things that a resident or a citizen is eligible for. So everything will be taken care of inside that application portal, and the colleges know what status you are in. Okay, So one important thing that you need to remember is you are considered, or your child is considered, an in-state resident for a college where you stay, okay? And you're eligible for in-state tuition rate. If you meet the residency requirement, like if you've stayed more than, every state is different. They have requirements. Oh, you've stayed more than 6 months, then we will give you residency requirement or in-state tuition, okay? And everything is up for negotiation and you can do that, okay? So remember this, you are eligible for in-state tuition, okay? But you're not eligible for any federal aid, in the sense like you cannot complete the FAFSA or the CSS, or you cannot request or ask for financial aid from the US government, because you're neither a resident nor a citizen. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. But please don't let this deter you, because the financial aid that you get from the US government is very, very less. You're not kind of missing out on a lot. There are other wonderful opportunities that's waiting for you. Okay, like I mentioned, you're eligible for in-state tuition. Remember that. And also, please don't worry, I'm going to show you how to build an exceptional profile on visa. You're eligible for a lot of private scholarships. Not all private scholarships have that, be a citizen or a permanent resident in a place, okay? Then you're eligible for scholarships from colleges, okay? Colleges love students who have an exceptional profile. Okay, and they will also, I've had a lot of experience where a college liked my candidate and they gave him in-state fees, even though he was out of state. Even if they don't give you scholarship, they might just convert and say, hey, we'll give you in-state fee if you come in. So please, from colleges is where is a huge chunk of money that you get. Rensselaer gives like 45K a year, okay? They give you a huge chunk of money. Private and public colleges, they give you a lot of scholarships. So it's not uniform. It changes from a college to college, okay? I hope that was clear. Now I'm going to show you some of the scholarships that are available for students on H4 or dependent visa, okay? So merit-based scholarship. For example, I really emphasize that a student on the dependent visa have exceptional grades and test scores and extracurricular activities, because there's a lot of scholarship that's out there. University of Alabama gives 28K a year for students who qualify. Like if you get like 1550 or 34 plus on ACT, they just give you that scholarship when you join them, okay? And out of state, like I mentioned, University of South Alabama can give you full tuition. Okay, it's given full tuition to my student. Full tuition is you only need to pay for room and board. They take care of the complete tuition. If it's 28K, they will waive off 28K, and you only need to pay like 1,500 or 2,000 just for living expenses. Okay, and also they sometimes will even offer you an in-state fee. For example, you're from Delaware and you want to go and study in South Alabama, and your profile is so good and they really want you to be a student at their college. They will offer the in-state. They'll say it's okay, you're from Delaware, but I'm going to match it. Or they'll give you full tuition. So please do not be under the misconception that you only need to apply to colleges in state. Okay, biggest misconception. A lot of out-of-state colleges will give you that. Okay, and then there are research scholarships, okay, that colleges offer for H4 visa students. I'm sorry, H4 visa. Colleges like Villanova. Villanova is a very prominent research college. They offer such scholarships. There are a lot of private scholarships that I ask my students to check within the tool called Naviance. Like that is where the counselors and everywhere you request recommendation. It's a tool within your school. Every student will have access to that, and you will be able to see within Naviance like the list of scholarships that are there. They are scholarships that are offered by local organization. Wherever you're living, there is a business or there's a church or something like that. What they do is they donate money to to the college, to the high school, and tell them that, hey, this is the money that I want you to distribute it to a student who is exceptional. Okay, so my son himself got a lot of scholarships from within the college, within the high school. Okay, it can all be found in Naviance. Okay, and these are some large private scholarships. There's Google Scholarship, there is Coca-Cola, there's Dell, there's Society of Women. You just need to look closely to the ones that don't require a citizenship or a green card. And I just want to quickly summarize or recap what we've done so far. The best strategy for students on visa is to build an exceptional profile. It's all about the profile building. Okay, if a college like really wants you, based on your profile, it doesn't matter what your visa status is. That has been my experience. I've had like exceptional students who had extreme visa problem. The student had his father living in Dubai and it was all complicated. He got so many offers because he did 2 research papers, his grades, his test score, everything was exceptional. He was an exceptional candidate and he had so much offers, okay, on being on a dependent visa, right? So that's the best strategy. Like don't let this visa status limit you. Focus on building that profile. Get the best grades, get the best opportunities, like do them yourself. Okay, you don't need to enroll into a very expensive college course which is like 9K or 10K. That's not required at all. Colleges are looking for students who can really work hard, right? So that's like the best strategy. Okay, and let me just recap the important factors: grades, GPA, strength of the curriculum. Like a student needs to challenge themselves with like AP courses, honors courses, all those. Like I mentioned, AP courses are again college courses that are offered in the school. If your student is exceptional, they can take on that and like transfer it to colleges. Okay, then you have the test score, extracurricular activity commitment, letters of recommendation, right, essays and interest, right? So that's what it is. Like building that extracurricular activity, the community profile is very, very, very important. Okay, and also the qualities that they're looking for. They're looking for a student who loves learning and an academic record, a natural leader. Okay, they are looking for these, and no amount of visa can limit a student with these characteristics. Okay, they're a natural leader, they're passionate about something. Okay, they want to make a contribution to the community. These are the 4 qualities as parents on dependent visa you need to focus on giving to your child, right? The rest is not in your control. And I'll tell you, you bring in a student to me with this quality, I will create an exceptional profile no college can refuse. Okay, and I just want to talk about our unique solutions that we have built over the experience that we've had. We offer summer programs. We have research programs. Like I mentioned, research is the #1 extracurricular activity. So we have hired university professors who student can conduct research with. And most of my students on the visa, they do that, right? And that really, really helps them with that profile. And if you're applying for the pre-med track, or if you're applying to a computer science major, a research in AI, business, nanoscience, everything is available. It's all about the profile building, right? That's what we do best. Okay, we offer a lot of college counseling, customized college counseling plans. We have broken it up into med and non-med because they are different kinds of counseling. We've had exceptional success. Please don't think that BSMD programs only accept students on visa. Brown, the #1 BSMD program, accepts students on H4. We build an exclusively different college list for students on visa because we know what colleges accept them and everything. Okay, we also continuing with the profile building, we offer a program where a student can author and publish a book. We have public speaking as well. Creating a passion project, teach students how to create it, develop study skills, how to do exceptionally well academically is something that we have. Okay, we also offer internship programs. These are not paid. These are unpaid internship program, which a student on visa can certainly apply. We have a research intern. Students who finished doing their research and submitted their paper for publishing can come back and mentor newer students, right? So that's something that we have. We have social media internships that we offer, like marketing, volunteering internships are something that we offer. I also have a nonprofit called Inspire Youth, which anyone on visa or anybody is allowed here. Okay, they can volunteer as a sustainability. There's a 30-day challenge that we run where we expect students to practice sustainability. We show them how to track the hours and we dispense the hours. They can either do it as an individual or they can do it as a leader. Okay. And of course, I have a free scholarship guide, which is there, which you can use to sort of go over what are the scholarships that are available based on the test scores, how to create a resume and everything. And this is our website, giftedgabber.com. You'll find all kinds of information in that. And I just want to reshare our results. This is an acceptance from Duke. And I want to let you know how important profile building is in a college process. It says, I enjoyed reviewing your application and the admissions committee was impressed by your innovative projects and research prowess. You see how much importance a college gives for innovation, self-directed projects, research and everything. So that is like the secret to college success in the United States. Okay, so the question is, have you gained clarity about the college process? These are some of the places in which you can get in touch with us. You can join our Facebook group, our Instagram, and our LinkedIn. Our YouTube channel has a lot of relevant information. It's called Gifted Gabber. Any questions, please drop us an email. Bye now. Bye.